What's up guys, Marcus from Rare Candy today, and today we're going to be taking a look at another deck that's pretty good in the current standard format, and that deck is Tapu Bulu GX with Vikavolt. And this list is actually the same list that I used to get top 4 at Elite Cup over the weekend. I went 3-1-1 in Swiss with this, and then obviously lost in top 4. But anyway, this is pretty much it. We'll get right into the Pokemon first. We play 3 Tapu Bulu GX, 180 HP, which is pretty good. It knows Horn Attack for 1 grass, 30 damage, and then its second attack is 2 grass, 1 colorless, Nature's Judgment, 120 damage, plus you may discard all energy from this Pokemon. If you do, this attack does 60 more damage. So you get to hit that magic 180, which knocks out stuff like another Tapu Bulu, or, Tapu OHKOs, Tapu Lele's, Drampa, Volcanion, all kinds of stuff. So pretty good attack for sure right there. And then its GX is also pretty good. 2 grass and a colorless. Tapu Wilderness GX does 150 damage, and then you heal all damage from this Pokemon. So this guy's a pretty good tank, I'd say. Like he's got 180 with a Fury Belt. He's got 220. So then, when they don't one-shot you, you heal all of it off, and then you survive probably another 2 hits, or even just 1 more. So yeah, he's definitely a nice big attacker, for sure. He has no weakness or resistance, so yeah, he's pretty solid, I'd say. 3 retreat cost, which is kind of hefty, but it makes him searchable with Heavy Ball, but we'll get into the items and stuff in a minute. And then we play a 3-2-3 line of Vikavolt. So Vikavolt has 150 HP, a big bulky 3 retreat cost, but again, that makes it Heavy Ball searchable. Strong Charge. Once during your turn before you attack, you may search your deck for a Grass Energy and a Lightning Energy. Attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like, then shuffle your deck. So I think personally this is the best way, in my opinion, to power up Tapu Bulu. There are people playing it with like Lurantis and whatnot, and I tried the Lurantis route too, but I think with Vikavolt you can more consistently just keep swinging for 180, where with Lurantis you have to go back to Lurantis to power up your Tapu Bulus again, and I think it's just a lot smoother with the Vikavolt. And then it does have an attack for 1 lightning and 3 colorless energy, 150 damage, discard 3 energy from this Pokemon. Like I said already, 3 retreat cost. So yeah, pretty good support Pokemon for sure for Tapu Bulu. I was really excited to play this also because it plays Rare Candy in it. So yeah, it's really nice being able to play a stage 2, or stage 2. Kind of like back in the day before the format got too fast with all these big basics. But anyway, we'll just keep getting into the Pokemon here. We run 1 Jolteon EX, 160 HP, Flash Ray, Walls Basics. You guys know what this Pokemon does. So pretty much this card, you can take it out if you want. I never really used it for its Flash Ray, to be honest, at all during that League Cup. I played it at a locals the Thursday night before the League Cup, and it did come in handy against Turbo Dark, and there was another matchup that I had where I used it, but I can't remember what it was. But anyway, you can take this out, honestly. You can keep it in if you like it. It just depends on your local meta. You could probably put in the Baby Coco promo if you wanted. I had Tapu Koko GX in this spot originally, like the first thing, and it was terrible. I hated it. Tapu Koko GX does not belong in this deck. It doesn't really do anything. Like there was never a time where I was like, oh, I can arrow trail and do 130 instead of doing 180. There's not much relevant right now that's weak to lightning, so I don't know, it just never came in handy. So I figured maybe Jolteon would be another good Pokemon to be in here, and it's not bad. It's just not, maybe not particularly needed depending on what your meta is. So another interchangeable card from this deck. And then there is 1 Oricorio. Now I teched this in because there were like 4 or 5 Vespiquen decks at this tournament, and this is obviously a pretty good counter to Vespiquen. For its attack, 1 colorless Supernatural Dance. For each Pokemon in your opponent's discard pile, put 1 damage counter on your opponent's Pokemon in any way you like. So if they have 180 damage worth of Pokemon in their discard pile, you can just knock out 2 Vespiquen. You can knock out, a Bee and a Combee, or, whatever. So, yeah, I think 1 Oricorio was good in here. Whenever I did play against Bees, the one time that I did, it honestly was better as a distraction than it was as an attacker against Bees. Whenever I benched it, my opponent, just kind of tried to Lysander it and kill it, like right there. So it was good in a sense that they kind of took one prize where, they need to be knocking out GXs and whatnot. So it kind of made a 7 prize game for them, and my Tapu Bulu got to live for 1 extra turn. So I think honestly, like, that's the only time it really came in handy. I never attacked with it against Bees. It was just, I'd bench it and then they would attack that instead of attacking a Tapu Bulu, which was fine by me. So yeah, there was that, and then we had 2 Tapu Lele GX in the deck. Wonder Tag, when you play this from your hand onto your bench, during your turn, you can search for your deck for any supporter card you want, shuffle your deck afterwards. It does no energy drive as well. I never really attacked with Tapu Lele at all during this tournament though, but 20 damage times the number of energy attached to both active Pokemon. So it is a decent attacker if you need it to be, but it's mostly in there for Wonder Tag to be able to get the turn 1 Bridget. But we'll get to Bridget in a minute. First, we're going to talk about these item cards. We have 1 Energy Recycler. I think 1 Energy Recycler is really good in here because you're discarding energy a lot with Tapu Bulu's attack, so this way you can put those energy back in and keep streaming, Vikavolt Strong Charge to power up Tapu Bulu over and over again. Then we play 2 Field Blower. I think 2 Field Blower is pretty necessary. There are still people playing Garbodor, and then if they get Garbotoxin online, you can't use Strong Charge anymore, and you need Strong Charge to play this deck. So, yeah, I think 2 is pretty decent, and I think a lot of decks are playing 2 Field Blower at this point now anyway. So we play 2 of those. We play 2 Heavy Ball, since, like I said, a lot of our Pokemon have 3 Retreat. We have Charjabug with 3 Retreat. We have a Vikavolt with 3 Retreat, not free. And then Tapu Bulu with 3 Retreat. So that's 3 Pokemon right there that are searchable with Heavy Ball. That way you don't have to discard stuff. And so yeah, 2 Heavy Ball is pretty good. We play 3 Rare Candy. So you can, maybe if you want to, you can cut 1 Charjabug for 1 Rare Candy if you're not too worried about like item lock or anything like that. I kind of personally just prefer 2 Charjabug, just because there's a lot of times where I don't have the Rare Candy Vikavolt combo, but I do have a way to get a Charjabug on board, so that way next turn I can get a Vikavolt. So that's interchangeable however you like it. I just personally like this way better. It's also less items if you're worried about Garbodor, Trashalanche, or whatever. And then we also play 4 Ultra Ball, pretty standard. Discard 2 cards, search for any Pokemon you want. We play 3 versus Seeker. I think 3 is fine. You can go up to 4 if you'd like to. I just personally was fine with 3. We have 1 Bridget. So Bridget is what you need to play turn 1 to get out your basic Pokemon. Search your deck for 1 basic Pokemon EX or 3 basic Pokemon, except for Pokemon EX. So you can use this to search GXs. So what you want to do is you want to either open with it or open with Tapu Lele or get an Ultra Ball to use Tapu Lele to Wonder Tag, and first turn you want to Bridget for 2 Grubbin. That's every turn, I Bridget it was always 2 Grubbin and a Bulu, 2 Grubbin and a Bulu. So every single time. Unless you want to set up 3 Grubbin for some reason, but I always just grab 2 Grubbin and another basic Pokemon that I needed. So yeah, you do definitely need to play that turn 1 because you want to hit that turn 2 Rare Candy into Vikavolt to go ahead and start swinging. So yeah, we play 1 Brock's Grit in here, shuffle 6 in any combination of Pokemon and basic energy cards from your discard pile into your deck. So again, like I said with Energy Recycler, we are discarding a lot of energy here, so we definitely need a Brock's Grit to be able to put those back into the deck so we can keep doing the Strong Volt or Strong Charge ability. So yeah, we play 1 Hex Maniac. Now this was a Sudowoodo, but I, before the tournament last minute, just dropped Sudowoodo because it came in handy against things like Raichu and whatnot, at that local that I played this at before, but I didn't see any Raichu around, and I did see like things like Metagross and Tapu Bulu decks that Hex would help against. So if you can Hex your opponent in the mirror, and it basically stops them from kind of attacking one turn, because they're always trying to discard the energy to do max damage. So hexing helps a lot, and the mirror hex helps a lot against Metagross, especially if you can chain hex. So yeah, Hex Maniac is definitely a good play in here for sure. We have 2 Lysander, pretty standard. Pull a Pokemon from your opponent's bench, put it onto you, or put it up to their active. And then we have 3N, again pretty standard. Draw support. 1 Olympia. You definitely need 1 Olympia. You have a lot of Pokemon that are very heavy. You don't want to get stuck active, so 1 Olympia is definitely a good play. 4 Professor Sycamore, just best draw supporter in the game. Discard your hand and draw 7. So like I said, solid supporter. And then we play 1 Skyla. 1 Skyla is definitely needed. There were so many turns where I was just able to, like, I had a Vikavolt or a Heavy Ball or an Ultra Ball already in hand or something. I'd be like, Skyla for Rare Candy for Vikavolt, or Skyla for the Ball Search card to get Vikavolt, and I have already got a Rare Candy, whatever. So yeah, 1 Skyla is definitely good. It lets you search for anything you need, really, like Ultra Balls, Heavy Balls, Rare Candies, Field Blowers, another supporter, I guess. But at that point, you're definitely not in the best position. Energy Recycler, either of your tools. Yeah, so 1 Skyla is definitely really good in here. And then to get to our tools, we play 2 Fighting Fury Belt. Now I know a lot of people have been playing Choice Band in this deck, but I personally preferred Fighting Fury Belt. There were a lot of, like I said, a lot of bees. There was also a lot of Zoroark Drampa. So, and then there was, some Tapu Bulu there as well, some Metagross, and I think that this tool helps you a lot more in those matchups than Choice Band does, because you're already swinging for 180 on Drampa, you're already doing enough to knock out Zoroark Break just by discarding the energy. Obviously it's also not a GX, so Choice Band does nothing to it anyway. And then bees, basically just the meta there. I didn't need Choice Band. Like, it wasn't gonna help me against Metagross. Fury Belt helps you tank better against Metagross, I think. So I opted for Fury Belt, and I like it a lot better than Choice Band in this deck. So yeah, especially just for the meta I was playing in, I figured Fury Belt was better. So anyway, then we have 2 Float Stones. Like I have said a few times, we have very heavy Pokemon in this deck, so you definitely need to run some Float Stone, so that way you can't get Lysander stalled on your Vikavolt, or like a Bulu with no energy on it or something, I don't know. And then for the energy count, we play 7 Grass and 5 Lightning Energy. I like this count. I think it's pretty good. I don't think I would go lower than this. There wasn't really any times where I was like, oh man, I need more energy, I guess. I don't know. Like, I was always able to recycle them with Brock's Grit and Energy Recycler, but I think you need to play like 5 Lightning Energy in here, just in case, you prize some or anything like that. Like, that's just, the way you need to have, I think personally, at least 5. You can maybe go down to 4, but I personally just prefer 5 in here. So yeah guys, that's pretty much the list. Let me know what you think about this one, and we're gonna see how it does in a battle. Alright, so looks like we've got a game against Naha's 1999. We're going to call tails on the flip, and we lose the coin flip, so we're going to see if he wants to go first or second. He probably wants to go first. Oh, and I guess I'm going first. It said your turn to me. I don't know. So we're going to start with a lone Grubbin, and we're going to see what cards he flips over. We're going to assume it is Volcanion due to those cool Volcanion sleeves in that Volcanion deck box. Alright, so he starts with 2 Pokemon. And it looks like he did choose for us to go first, which is a little weird, but alright, I'll take it. So we're going to Ultra Ball, and we're going to drop a Lysander. And here we're just kind of debating, do we want to hold on to this Olympia or not to be able to retreat the Grubbin. But I think we're just going to get rid of it. I'm going to assume he'll be able to knock out my Grubbin next turn. So yeah, we're going to Ultra Ball for the Tapu Lele. And with Tapu Lele, we're going to Wonder Tag, and we're going to get Bridget. And Bridget is going to grab us 2 Grubbins and a Tapu Bulu, I'm going to assume. Yep. So there we go. And and we're gonna grab 2 Grubbins just because, again, he's gonna knock out this active Grubbin next turn, because Grubbin only has 70 HP and it's weak to fire, so I'm gonna assume he can do that. So then we attach and pass to our opponent. So we're gonna see a Nest Ball and then a Steam Up from him, and then he's gonna play Professor Sycamore, discarding in his hand to draw 7. So he hits the Stadium, Scorched Earth, plays a Trainer's Mail. Let's see what he gets off this Ultra Ball. Got rid of a Scorched Earth and something else to grab a Shaman. So he's going to Float Stone the benched Volcanion and set up for 5. Alright, so he straps a Fury Belt onto that active Volcanion. And so here, we top deck an N, so we're going to put a Grass down and play the N. So we get another Tapu Bulu, seems fine to put that thing down, and then just pass because we didn't get any pieces for Vikavolt. We didn't hit a Charge-a-Bug or Rare Candy Vikavolt. Even just a Charge-a-Bug would have been nice to see there, but we unfortunately missed it. So now we're going to see our opponent does finally hit the energy, so he will be knocking out this Grub in this turn. He plays an Ultra Ball for another Volcanion EX and an Escape Rope, so I think I'm just going to give him a Grubbin to knock out. I don't want to have any damage put on to, either my Bulus or the Lele, so yeah, we'll just let him eat one of these Grubbins. So let's see, we got a Trainer's Mail from our opponent here. Let's see what he grabs with it, and he's going to get a Field Blower. So he'll play a Max Elixir, putting a Fire Energy onto his bench Volcanion EX, retreating, playing another Max Elixir, putting that on the other bench Volcanion. He's going to Steam Up once, and then he's going to Scorched Earth for 2, and a Power Heater for the knockout. So that's fine to me, like, I don't really care. It's still gonna probably end up being a 7-prize game for him. So yeah, this seems fine. We top deck the Charge-a-Bug, so that's good. We have the energy to be able to attack now. We hit a Vikavolt, so next turn we're gonna be able to put him down. So it's not looking too bad here for us. Yeah, I think we're gonna be alright. So we're gonna Float Stone the Charge-a-Bug, just so we don't get, like, End out of the Float Stone, or, like, Lysander's up the Charge-a-Bug to stall us out. And there we didn't discard the energy to I kind of like thought that I forgot about the Fury Belt being on it. I didn't realize the Fury Belt was on it, so yeah, I didn't realize that I didn't have the knockout there. So we didn't discard our energy to knock it out, but it's probably not that bad. Could be worse. So we're gonna see a Steam Up and another Steam Up. Gonna discard to draw a couple cards. Let's see what he gets here. Alright, so opponent just thinking about if he wants to attack or not, I guess, and he does go for the Volcanic Heat for 190. So luckily we had that Fury Belt to, be able to survive that hit there. So here we're just going to attach a Lightning and play an N. And we hit a Rare Candy Vikavolt here, which is pretty good. So we're going to play a Rare Candy into Vikavolt. So now we have 2 Vikavolt online. So that's going to be good, being able to search for 4 energies every turn. So we're just going to do the 1 Grass and put it on there. We only have 1 more Lightning in our deck, so we're not going to pull that out. We're going to save it for, when we go for Nature's Judgment and discard all of our energy from it. So yeah, so there we swing with the Tapu Wilderness. Sorry, we'd used the Tapu Wilderness so that we could heal all of the damage off of ourselves. So yeah, we survive 1 more turn. Now if he gets enough Volcanion Steam Ups, he does have 1-shot potential still. So we'll just have to see if he can hit. Oh, well, yeah, there we go. Looks like he's gonna hit it. So the Fisherman is going to grab 4 energy for him, so he will be able to steam up 3 times, and I'm pretty positive that's a knockout. So that's 2 steam ups, and that is 3 steam ups, and then a volcanic heat for 220 damage exactly, knocking out our Tapu Bulu. So we're going to promote Vikavolt with the float stone on it, just because it has free retreat. We're going to attach a grass from hand, and we're going to heavy ball for another Tapu Bulu, just so that we can, you know, consistently have a couple attackers out here. We're thinking about doing the strong charge, but not sure. I think right now we're just going to, you know, retreat and then Nature's Judgment, discarding all the energy off of ourselves to take the knockout for 180. Alright, and we take a Jolteon EX and a Tapu Lele GX off of our prize cards. So, again, if we'd like to, we can opt to bench the Jolteon and try to wall for like a turn or something. I don't know if we wanted to, but yeah, he does probably play Ranger in his Volcanion deck so that he can stream his own attacks over and over, so it still might not even be the best route to use the Jolteon. It might be just better to attack with the Tapu Bulu. So he does N us and then swing on us for 90 damage. So here, just kind of deciding how we want to go about this. Do we want to attack with this active guy? Do we want to float stone and retreat to attack with a clean Tapu Bulu? Tough decisions here. It looks like we do opt to float stone the active. We're going to attach to the benched Tapu Bulu. And here, we're going to strong charge, putting a grass and a lightning on our benched Tapu Bulu. Alright. And it looks like we're going to play a Versus Seeker. Probably for Lysander, yep. And we're going to try and take a knockout on... He has a fresh Volcanion EX that we can just take off his bench. So, doing 180 damage to that Volcanion and taking 2 more prize cards. So, we're not in the worst position. Honestly, yeah, things don't really look too bad for us at all. He has, you know, a Volcanion that's about to be dead on his bench. The Volcanion active doesn't have much HP left either. Now he does Field Blower both the float stones off, and that's not cool. But it happens. So we're gonna see a Power Heater, putting 1 energy on Volcanion EX and 1 energy on the baby Volcanion. We're gonna Skyla for an energy recycler, and we're gonna shuffle in probably 3 grass and 2 lightning. Alright, and that way we can strong charge to be able to take another knockout here. So pretty much just trying to like, I don't know, decide where I guess I want to like strong charge to. I mean, obviously we're gonna put some on the active, but just trying to think about like how many energy we want to put down this turn. So we just do 2 grass from the deck and then attach a lightning from hand. Since we do have both Vikavolts, we've got, you know, better options to conserve energy and whatnot, and then we'll take a knockout with Nature's Judgment, going down to 1 more prize card. We just need to take 1 more knockout here, guys. Everything that he has on his board is in 1-shot range, so we should be able to take the game next turn. Even if he does knock out this active Tapu Bulu, he'll go down to 1 prize, and we can promote our Tapu Bulu from the bench and then power it up with Vikavolt Strong Charge to take the last KO for the game. Now he does Rescue Stretcher to bring a Tapu Lele into hand, and he grabs a Sycamore, which is questionable since he only has 4 cards left. And I guess he just kind of realizes what I, you know, just said a minute ago. I'm gonna take the knockout next turn anyway. So yeah, he just kind of Sycamores and gives me the game. So yeah, there we go, guys. That's Tapu Bulu Vikavolt in action against a Volcanion EX deck. So yeah, it's pretty good that Tapu Bulu, I think I forgot to mention it in the deck profile, he does not have any weakness or resistance. So it's pretty good being able to have an attacker that's not weak to anything. It's really nice. You don't have to worry too much about, you know, oh, am I gonna hit this matchup or this matchup that I'm weak to. So yeah, it's a really good attacker. I really like Tapu Bulu a lot. He swings for big numbers. He's not weak to anything, and it's a deck where we get to play rare candy in it. So obviously, it's, you know, it's a good deck in my book. But anyway, I didn't really want to get into like my League Cup rounds, I guess, until the end of the video, because I didn't know if people would be interested, and I'm not going to go super detailed. I'm just going to kind of tell you guys what I played against that day, so you can kind of get a feel for what you might expect to see at League Cups coming up for yourself. So round one, I played against Eric from the channel, which always sucks playing against your friends in the early Swiss rounds. So in that game, I can't remember, I think we went 2-1. I don't think I 2-0'd him. I might have. I can't really exactly remember each round that we did. I think it was 2-1 though, I'm pretty sure. So I beat Eric 2-1 in round one of the tournament, and he was playing the Zoroark Drampa. Round two, I actually lost to my auto win. I was playing against Waterbox, and you just kind of don't even have to discard energy. Doesn't matter if they belt their Lapras or not, you're going to take a knockout. So, yeah, game one, she won the coin flip, so she went first, and then I had a good opening hand, but she ended me out of it, and I just kind of bricked game one. So game two, my deck worked how it was supposed to, and we won that game. Game three, I kind of set up a little bit slower than I normally would have, and then she just kind of like beat me. Yeah, so that's the only reason I went into detail on that, is because I didn't want you guys to be like, what the heck, how'd you lose to Waterbox? Round three, I played against the Pokedad playing the OHKOs GX deck. Round four, I played against Metagross GX. Swiss was best of three, by the way. I lost game one, and then I won games 2 and 3. That was against my buddy Max Potter. Again, hate beating friends in Swiss, but yeah, sometimes that's the way it goes. And then round five, I ID'd with my opponent to get into Top Cut, and then I played against that same person in Top Cut. It was the Tapu Bulu Mirror, and then I won that 2-0 in Top Cut. And then in the top four, top four, I was playing against Vespiquen, and game one I won. Game two, like, you know, my deck just went how it was supposed to, and I tanked hits and I won. Game two, my deck kind of bricked on me, and yeah, I lost. And then game three, it was a really close one. I lost by, I had one prize left to take. He had 2 left, and I think there was a misplay that I did on that last turn of that game. Yeah, to, you know, where he was able to, you know, win. But yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna get into like details and everything. I don't want to take up everybody's time too much or whatever. So yeah, like basically, yeah, that's how my tournament went. It was a lot of fun playing Tapu Bulu. Got to top 4 with it, and then at that tournament, Eric actually won with Zoroark Drampa. So congrats to Eric. But yeah, so it's definitely a fun deck, guys. I like this deck a lot. I'm still gonna keep playing it in Standard. I think it's really solid. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about the deck in the comments. Do you like this deck? Do you hate it? What do you think you would change in it? What would you drop Jolteon EX for, or would you keep Jolteon EX, etc.? Also, be sure to like, subscribe, check out our merch at rarecandytcg.com. Pick up a mat, playmat or t-shirt or whatever. It really helps us a lot when you guys support the channel like that. And thanks again for watching this video, and we'll see you guys in the next one.